Hello and welcome back to Foose Entertainment. It's been a long time since I made a review. I don't know what it is. I think I've just been intimidated by this COVID-19 virus. Forgive me for calling it COVID-19. I will never name this virus after a crappy beer. And as you guys all know, I know all about alcohol. I had a career drinking alcohol and was consuming my life. And so calling something like this an alcoholic beverage is something I will not do. Enough of that. You know that story. But yeah, I just think the virus just, it's intimidated me. It's kind of made it to where, I don't know, I just haven't been wanting to get on here. But I come to a realization that in these hard times, reviewing movies is something that I like to do. So, I'm not going to be lazy anymore. I'm actually going to just get back to doing this, and nothing but good's going to come out of me reviewing movies. So, I'm going to watch and review movies like I used to on pretty much a daily basis. Not to mention, I like looking at myself on camera. It really reminds me of who I've become after hard times in the past. One thing I never really admit to people that watch this channel is I review movies because it helps me be the man I am. It makes me feel better as well. So it's kind of like, I'm giving you guys good information about movies and reviewing great memories and stuff like that. But I'm also, all of you out there watching me do it, and me getting the gratification of providing you with entertainment, which I am very happy and very proud to do, actually helps me too. So with all that out of the way now, let's go ahead and talk about the film I promised to review almost 2 months ago. That is probably, in my opinion, the most important movie of the year in 2019 for me. On a really cool, positive note, I hope that one day I can actually say that I've been 15 years sober, like our lead character in this here movie, Dr. Sleep. And that's really what appeals to me about this movie. I know that a lot of people, this film didn't do it for them. Well, I think that's part of the problem. I can relate to this movie a lot because I'm an alcoholic. And I also might add, I will be celebrating 3 years of being alcoholic-free next week. I will be pretty much 3 years sober. And I guess that's why this film has such an impact on me, because we see Danny Torrance really struggle with his sobriety. Especially when you have responsibility, death, and mayhem all about him. He really does have a hard time struggling to maintain his sobriety multiple times throughout the movie. And I think that is really what gets to me in a very personal way. It kind of makes me have a more personal relationship with this movie than maybe an average viewer would. I would say this is one of those cases to where having more footage in the movie, put back into the movie, is a neat thing, but is not essential to the movie. Which means that you don't have to watch the director's cut to get the director's vision of what this movie is. You can watch the theatrical cut and it's just fine. So that's the way I look at it, because a whole lot of what you see in this movie is in the director's cut of the film is really not something that you needed, like at all. You wouldn't need it. But it is quite fun to watch a director's cut of a great movie like this. This is a very long movie, and the director's cut is why I watched theatrically in my cinema. I saw the theatrical cut in theaters only. I haven't watched the theatrical cut at home on my own theater. But I really gotta say, I really enjoyed this movie. Well, let's go through the plot of it. The first part of the movie actually takes place only about 2 to 3 months after the events of Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. And it shows that all of the spirits and ghosts from the Overlook Hotel had pursued Danny and his mom to Florida. And over there, with the help of the ghost of the old black guy from the first film, I'm not sure what you call him, the Help, I guess. But he kind of is a mentor in spirit to Danny Torrance throughout the movie, and he taught him how to contain demented spirits in prisons, in cages, basically. And so, throughout his childhood, going into adulthood, to pretty much my age, I'll probably never tell you guys how old I am, but I'm probably older than you think I am. But, basically, it's played with him psychologically to the point where he's become a substance abuser and a raving alcoholic. And well, he goes to a nowhere town. I forget what the town is actually called because I haven't watched this film fresh. But I remember enough about it I could talk about the movie, so I will admit that. But you know, it is April. It's not really a film you watch in April. Although it was a good watch. But he comes across this guy who helps the community and does community projects that helps him to clean his act up. And he asks for help. He wants change. He wants to better himself. He wants redemption. And so he gets it. And while doing it, he also befriends a fellow person like him who is a child, who is a black African-American teenage girl. Very smart teenage girl, I might add. I actually enjoyed her character a lot in the movie. She shines bigger than anyone. Which brings us, of course, to our main good versus evil story. This teenager gets haunted by seeing visions of young children like herself who are being harvested. So basically slaughtered by this malignant group of evil demons, I guess is what you would call them. Some people call them vampires, but they're not really a vampire in the traditional sense. And is haunting her. And so she enlists the help of Danny to find out what's going on. And we find that while this teenager is pursuing this group of demons that like to suck the life out of young children with special powers and abilities, they're haunting her. And they're hunting her down because she is very appetizing to them. They want to kill her and dissect her and take her power and use it as food. And so Danny pretty much helps her, tracks down these people, almost succeeds in killing all of them, but the leader is so powerful that Danny actually, with the help of this teenage girl, go back to the Overlook Hotel and unlock all the cages of the trapped demonic spirits that he trapped all those years ago, and brings the Overlook Hotel back to life. So he has, I guess, a homestead advantage over this demon. So it works. But then the Overlook Hotel tries to take over Danny Torrance, much like it did his father, Jack Torrance, in the first Shining film. Jack Torrance, of course, played by Jack Nicholson in that film. Now, interesting enough, this is a good adaptation of the novel Dr. Sleep, but it also cheats a little bit. People don't really know this, but in the novel The Shining, the Overlook Hotel gets destroyed and burned down at the end of the film. Sorry, not the end of the film, the end of the book. And so, in the end of the novel, Dr. Sleep has a different ending, but the execution of the ending of this movie is quite similar in every regard. Danny Torrance does die and become a spirit, and he kind of takes on being the supernatural, ghost-like mentor, much like that old black gentleman from the first movie to Torrance when he was growing up. He becomes sort of, the mentor of sorts for this teenage girl, and that's where we're left. Very good movie, like I said. Now, as for audio and video quality, we'll be very fast on this. Hopefully, YouTube does not limit it to 13 minutes like it's been doing with the latest videos I've made. Hopefully, it follows the rules of 15 minutes. I think they owe me that. So, YouTube, please don't screw with this video. Just 15 minutes, alright? I'm keeping to it. The last 4 videos you guys have cut me off early. I don't like that. Well, video quality. Very good in the video. I do like the fact that it has a lot of warm color temperatures and really good balance in neutrals. I also like the fact that it feels like it's a sequel to The Shining because it kind of has the same type of cinematography. And I am very happy that this film is shot in 1.85.1 like the original film is, rather than in the CinemaScope 2.35.1. I find that very cool because it ties into their film quite well. This is for the Dolby Atmos track, or Dolby Atmos track, if you guys want to call it that. This one packs a good punch in a very haunting way. So the overhead effects are very haunting, and they sneak up on you. So it's not like an action movie to where there's something going on all the time. No, these overhead effects sneak up on you like in a very acoustic, atmospheric way. And it plays as almost like a character in the movie, and I really do enjoy that. As I mentioned before, Dr. Sleep